Plant structure and their functions. Photosynthesis. Plants and algae are main producers of food, which is synthesized from the sunlight in photosynthesis. So, they're the primary producers of biomass in all food webs and food chains. Photosynthesis happens in plant and algae. Endothermic reaction means it takes in more energy than it releases. Light energy from environment is transferred to chloroplast in leaves. Equation of photosynthesis is carbon dioxide and water forms glucose and oxygen in the presence of light. Rate of photosynthesis affected by 1. Temperature. So when there's an increase in temperature, the rate of photosynthesis increases. As reaction is controlled by enzymes, this happens to a certain temperature until the enzyme denatures and rate of reaction decreases. 2. Light intensity. So higher light intensity means faster rate of reaction. 3. Carbon dioxide concentration increases leads to rate of reaction increases as carbon dioxide is needed to make glucose. Any of these three factors can be limiting factors. This is environmental conditions like light intensity, so when in low level, it stops the increase in rate of photosynthesis. Increasing other factors doesn't increase rate of photosynthesis. This can be seen on graph as curve levels off. Limiting factors affecting photosynthesis. Carrying out experiment measuring oxygen production of a plant, you can calculate rate of photosynthesis. 1. Pondweed placed in test tube with water. Top is sealed with bung, and a capillary tube also has water, which is connected to the test tube and attached to syringe. 2. Lamp placed at certain distance from the test tube. 3. When photosynthesis happens, oxygen is produced forming gas bubble in capillary tube. 4. Distance bubble moved is measured using ruler to calculate volume of oxygen produced. 5. Lots of variables can be changed to observe effect on photosynthesis. Temperature by water bath, time pondweed left, light intensity based on distance lamp is from plant. 6. Important to control all factors that can affect photosynthesis expect independent variable, so it's valid experiment. Any of the three factors can be limiting factors, like environmental conditions, so light intensity, and when this is low, it stops increasing rate of photosynthesis. Increasing other factors like temperature or carbon dioxide concentration rate of photosynthesis will not increase anymore. Seen on graph as curve level off. Graph has one limiting factor if it has one line, which levels off with factor on horizontal axis and rate of photosynthesis on vertical axis. Graph with two lines represents two limiting factors in two experiments. Investigation involves increasing factors on horizontal axis and carried out at two different other environmental conditions like two different temperatures. Light intensity is measured in lux, and if change light intensity and rate increases than light intensity is limiting factors. Farmers use knowledge of limiting factors to allow optimum conditions in a greenhouse for greater rate of photosynthesis. This increases growth, so increase profits. Core practical, light intensity and rate of photosynthesis. Set up simple experiment to measure rate of photosynthesis in plants. Need sealed 100 milliliters flask filled with water at room temperature, gas syringe, small amount of pondweed, small lamp, and 1 meter ruler. 1. Use ruler to place flask and pondweed 15 centimeter from lamp. 2. Leave apparatus for 10 minutes to allow pondweed to change. 3. Connect gas syringe to flask and record change in volume on syringe after 5 minutes. 4. Move lamp 10 centimeters further away and measure volume change again. 5. Repeat. Plot results on graph of distance from lamp on x-axis and change in gas volume on y-axis. Inverse square law. Rate of photosynthesis. Light intensity directly proportional to rate of photosynthesis. This is because greater intensity of light, more photons hit chloroplasts in leaf, and more photosynthesis can happen at once. Opposite pattern because rate of photosynthesis and distance from light source. Inverse proportion describes relationship between two factors which involve one increasing when one decreases. As distance between light source and plant increases, light intensity decreases. Light intensity is inversely proportional to square of distance called inverse square law. Light intensity is inversely proportional of 1 divided by distance squared. Structure adaptations. Lots of cells in plants are adapted to perform specific functions. 1. Root hair cells are specialized to take up water by osmosis and mineral ions by active transport from soil as they are found in tips of roots. Root hair cells have large surface areas, meaning more water moves in. Large permanent vacuole affect speed of movement of water from soil to cell. Mitochondria to provide energy from respiration for active transport of mineral ions into root hair cells. 2. Xylem cells are specialized to transport water and mineral ions up plant from roots to shoots. A chemical called lignin is deposited which causes cells to die. These dead cells have become lignified. They become hollow and are joined end to end to form continuous tube so water and mineral ions can move through. Lignin deposited in spiral, which helps cells withstand pressure from movement of water. 3. Phloem cells are specialized to carry product of photosynthesis to all parts of plants. Cell walls of each cell form structures called sieve plates when they break down, allowing movement of substances from cell to cell. These cells are in phloem are alive. Lose many subcellular structures. Energy these cells need to be alive is supplied by mitochondria of companion cells. These cells use energy to transport sucrose around plant. Transpiration and stomata. Transcription is loss of water from leaves and stem of plant. This is because PF gaseous exchange of stroma is open, so this can happen. Water evaporates at open stomata on leaf surfaces. As water molecules are attracted to each other, when some molecules leave plant rest are pulled up through xylem. So, more water being taken up from soil means there's a continuous transpiration streams through plants. Guard cells close and open stomata. There is kidney-shaped, have thin outer walls and thick inner walls. When lots of water is available to plant, cells fill and change shape opening stomata and they're light sensitive. Allow gases to be exchanged and more water leave plant by evaporation. More stomata found on bottom of leaf allowing gases to exchange when less evaporation as lower surface is shaded and cooler. Translocation. Translocation is movement of food substances like sucrose made in leaves up or down phloem for use when it's needed or storage. Translocation only happens in phloem, not xylem or any other tissues in plant. Translocation of sucrose happens from sources, which is where it's made to sink where it's used or stored. Location of sources and sinks depend on season. Example is when spring the source located in roots and sink in leaf, and in summer this could be other way around. Environmental factors and rate of water uptake. Factors that affect rate of water uptake and transpiration are very similar to those that affect rate of evaporation. 1. Increased temperature means molecules move faster, so evaporation happening at a faster rate, and so rate of transpiration increases. Rate of photosynthesis increases means more stomata are open for gaseous exchange, so more water evaporates and rate of transpiration increases. 2. Increase in relative humidity means there is a reduced concentration gradient between concentration of water vapor inside and outside leaf, so slower rate of diffusion. This decreases rate of transpiration. 3. Increased air movement means more air is moving away from leaf because it's being blown away, then the concentration of water vapor around leaf will be lower. This means there is steeper concentration gradient, so diffusion is faster and increased rate of transpiration. 4. Increase in light intensity means it leads to increased rate of photosynthesis, so more stomata open to allow gaseous exchange to happen. This means more water can evaporate, so increased rate of transpiration. Rate calculations for transpirations. Measure uptake of water by plant shows rate of transpiration because water is only taken up if water leaves the plant. This is measured using a potometer, which is when a plant is placed in capillary tube in water and measure distance traveled by the bubble. Place leaf shoot in one end of potometer and use ruler to measure how far the bubble travels up capillary tube and set time. Further bubble moves in a given time means greater rate of transpiration and so greater rate of water uptake. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.